You're born in a medieval village where fear pays rent and gossip charges interest. Everyone wants purity, but nobody wants responsibility for anything. People don't need facts here. They need a villain-shaped hole to pour anxiety into, like a communal stress dumpster with legs. When someone dies, the village doesn't just mourn, it panics, because death comes with invisible paperwork, sins, judgment, and eternal consequences. That's when they summon you the Sign Eater. Not a saint, more like a spiritual vacuum cleaner they can blame if vibes go bad. You live outside town because superstition needs safe distance. Translation, they want your service, not your existence, near their children. Your tools are simple: a lantern, a coat, and a stomach. Congratulations, your career is swallowing other people's guilt for pocket change. The ritual is cute, bread and ale. On the covered beer, a prayer, then you eat. You're basically the village's guilt sponge. Everyone watches you like a dog. Near fresh meat, necessary suspicious, and absolutely not invited to touch the nice furniture, ever. Kids dare each other to touch your coat. Adults yank them back like sin is contagious, while still calling you on speed dial. The priest acts offended, then hands you clients like a manager. Medieval morality is outsource the mess, deny it existed. You walk through town and people make space. Not respect, space, hazmat space, like your shadow might stain their souls permanently. At night, you hear whispers. He carries sins. Funny, because everyone carries sins. You just carry them professionally, loudly. Welcome to the role hired to save souls, banned from community. You're the village's spiritual janitor, forever outside the door. Your first funeral is awkward. Tears happen, then eyes snap to you like, okay, start eating. The guilt clock's ticking. The bread is stale, but the symbolism is fresh. Shame served on a plate. Everyone pretends this is holy, not convenient. The priest mutters Latin like a password. Nobody understands, but everyone nods because confusion with confidence looks spiritual enough. You step forward with your head down. Not respect survival. Eye contact reminds them you're human, and humans feel inconvenient. You eat the bread. You drink the ale. The room relaxes and recoils at once, like relief and disgust just shook hands. They love the idea. Sins transfer. They hate the reality transfer. Requires you touching their dead and their denial. Classic humanity. Payment arrives a few coins, maybe leftovers, maybe nothing but a stare. Salvation apparently has a strict budget cap. Some families haggle. Imagine bargaining spiritual cleanup like onions. Your dignity gets priced per corpse, per mood, per superstition. You leave fast because staying invites blame. If a cow dies next week, they'll remember your face immediately, lovingly. You don't join the meal. You get scraps outside like a cat they're afraid to pet, but still need around. Rain or snow, you walk home alone. Their warm windows glow like a life you're permanently banned from entering again. Nightmares aren't ghosts. They're faces, people staring while you chew, judging you for accepting the job they begged for. Week 2, you learn routes, who pays, who spits, who crosses themselves harder when you pass their gate at dusk. Some doors lock before you reach them. Translation, do the job, but don't bring your existence inside our clean house. Sometimes they call it night. Sudden death means urgent fear. You walk with a lantern and a target on your back. No one says thank you. They say take it, like sins are a parcel you can carry away neatly with tracking included. You wash in a bucket. It doesn't help. You're not dirty from mud, you're dirty in their minds. Forever. No refunds. You're invisible until needed, then instantly visible when blame is required. That's the rhythm of your holy employment contract. Months pass, and you get busier. Funny how guilt is always in stock, even when the village runs out of grain. The priest recommends you more. He acts ashamed in public, then sells your service in private like a business card. You realize your job props up the village ego. They sin, you eat, they feel clean, moral laundering with breadcrumbs. Sellers raise prices or refuse your coins. They fear money carries sin like infection, yet still profit from your hunger. So you barter, chop wood, haul water, swallow pride. Pride is the first thing starvation eats right after your dignity. Weddings roar with laughter until you appear. Then joy dies instantly. You're the walking reminder that life has a receipt. Children stop playing when you pass. Not theology training. Fear is taught early here like table manners and hate. Sometimes the dead was hated. The family smirks while you eat. You realize this isn't forgiveness, it's disposal services. Some bodies are poor, stiff, untreated. You still perform the ritual. Respect isn't in the budget when superstition runs payroll. Villagers avoid touching what you touch bench cup latch. Your hands become social poison, not tools, not human. You start looking older fast. Not magic stress, cold and constant walking between homes that hate you, but need you. Some nights, you doubt sins are real. Then you hear whispered confessions and realize fear is real enough to rule everything. Rumors grow witch demon curse. The truth is simpler. You're inconvenient to their self-image, so they rewrite you. A sickness week hits. People hunt patterns. You're the easiest pattern. You visit the dead, so you must cause death. Now every funeral you attend becomes evidence. You're not sign eater anymore, you're sign bringer in their storybook logic. Some families weaponize you. They whisper many sins and watch you like they hope you choke for revenge entertainment. You don't choke, you just swallow. Survival teaches the same skill. Hypocrisy does keep everything inside and keep moving. You sit under the bell tower shadow listening. You're needed like firewood and hated like smoke. Perfect medieval logic. You walk the lane and the village parks like you're contagious. Funny they want clean souls but refuse clean conscience. A child dies unexpectedly. The village detonates into prayer and suspicion because grief here always demands a villain on schedule. They demand you come, then stare like you signed the death certificate. Love and hate share the same fear here proudly. The priest rushes everything. Fear makes religion impatient. He wants sins gone fast before anyone remembers logic exists. You eat, drink, and the room exhales, then tightens again. Relief is temporary. Paranoia is permanent in this village. That night, more sickness. Someone says your name out loud. It spreads faster than fever because gossip has better legs. A council meets near the church. They don't invite you. They discuss you like a rat problem, not a person. Next morning, a guard knocks. Not to pay to ask where you went, who you touched, what you carried around. Your answers don't matter. Questions are theater. The audience already chose the ending. They just need you on stage. They search your room and find crumbs, ale stains, candles. To them, it's dark magic. To you, it's Tuesday. A neighbor claims you muttered strange words. Of course you did prayers. Panic doesn't translate. It only accuses loudly. They say you have too much death around you. That's literally your job, but logic isn't invited to fear parties. They order you to leave town for safety. Translation, go disappear somewhere else so we feel in control again. You pack fast, coat lantern, a few coins. You don't argue. Medieval justice loves shortcuts more than truth. As you walk out, doors close. Not anger, fear. Fear is colder than hatred and twice as loyal to stupidity. Outside the walls, the road is quiet. For the first time, you're not watched. Loneliness almost feels like mercy. You camp alone. No hearth, no village noise. Just wind in your thoughts, louder than any ghost they imagine. Days later, a messenger finds you. The village needs you again. Fear cooled just enough to become practical. You return like a tool put back on the shelf. No apology, no thanks, just a new corpse and familiar silence. People keep distance, as if your breath is sinful, yet still point you toward the next funeral like a delivery driver. You realize they don't hate you personally. They hate what you represent. Consequences, death, and their lie of purity. Bread ale, prayer chewing, repeat. It's factory work, except the product is someone else's relief, not your life. A new sign-eater apprentice appears desperate and hungry. The priest calls it tradition. You call it replacement planning. You teach him the rules. Speak little, leave fast, never trust smiles after funerals. Smiles are where blame hides. You warn him, payment is unreliable, but blame is guaranteed. The village will use you, then swear you ruined them. Years pass. Your stomach stays sour, your legs ache, and your name is always spoken softly, like a threat at night. You stand at thresholds like a boundary marker between clean and contaminated. Doors stay half closed just in case. When you die, there's no ceremony. Nobody wants your sins, even though you carried everyone else's your whole life. A stranger buries you. The village pretends you never existed. That's their final payment erasure with a straight face. Another death comes. They hire another sign eater. Fear always hires, even when it kneels and prays loudly. That's why it sucked you didn't become a monster by eating sins people made you one, so their hands stayed clean.